Can you see the PowerPoint presentation now?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right, perfect.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to USC first semester of school year 2021 and 2022. Okay, we are again doing online. We're doing online or virtual class. I think you're used to it already, or maybe some of you are used to the modular style. But most of the time here in USC, we have modules and we also do virtual session or synchronous session. All right. So to introduce myself, my name is Leomar C. Hermosilia. So that is my name, and you can take note of my email address. So if you have concerns, you can send me an email to that email. That's lchermosilia@usc.edu.ph. But you know what, guys? You can also communicate with me through my Facebook account. Okay. Um, However, I need to put limitation. I only allow students to send me a message until 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay. Um, After beyond 8 o'clock in the evening until 8 o'clock in the morning, give it to me. That's my supposedly my time already. Okay, so just put a limitation to that. All right, because a lot of students before would send me a message even if it's already 12 in the evening. So avoid sending me a message at that time. Okay. So send me a message at 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock in the evening. If you feel like your question needs a real or quick answer. All right. Then, a short educational background. So I'm from Iligan City. So I graduated from MSU IIT, a diploma in automotive engineering technology. So now you might be wondering why a graduate of automotive engineering technology, be teaching personal development. How come? It's not it because I graduated. I took my BS psychology in USC, and in fact, I graduated in 2016. I took that BS psychology course, and now I'm taking masters in guidance and counseling in my thesis phase now. All right, hopefully I'll be able to graduate this semester. Okay, just a short background. How did I get diploma in automotive engineering technology? Okay, from Iligan, um, my parents cannot afford to send me to a private school because when I took the entrance exam in MSU, my score was only for a 3-year course. I did not pass for a 4-year course, so I had no choice. I was a scholar. I was given monthly stipend by the school, and then I only paid 15 pesos every semester. So unsa pa my choice? Choosy pa ba ko? So no, I had to finish that course because I was a scholar. All right, so I took diploma in automotive engineering technology, and supposedly I should have been working as a technician. I supposedly be diagnosing um, car problems, but dili ko ganahan nga trabaho. So that's why I came here in Cebu in 2006 and looked for a job in BPO. All right. Yes, you heard me right. I was working in different call centers for roughly 9 years, 10 years, 9 to 10 years. All right. And then I realized now I could not imagine myself being in that environment for a lifetime. So I decided to look for a job I decided to study again. I took BS psychology and graduated in 2016 in USC. All right. So that's my educational background. So that's the reason why I fit to teach personal development. All right. So I've been in USC for 5 years, 5 long years since the beginning of the senior high school program. I am one of the pioneers teaching personal development here in USC, and also I taught psychology 01 and research 01 and research 02. All right. So these are the subjects that I've handled. Questions so far before we proceed? No. All right. I think majority of you kay new sa US. By the way, can everybody understand Bisaya? Type I cannot understand in the chat if you can't understand Bisaya. Yay. Everybody can understand Bisaya. Very good. Right now, since maybe all of you are new in USC, so we'll talk about the mission and vision of USC. Okay, who would like to turn on his or her microphone to read the USC vision? Kinsa man na brave soul here nga ma-turn on sa mic para mo read sa USC mission. Come on, don't be shy. Yes, we have Elizabeth.
The University of San Carlos sees a world where darkness of sin and the night of unbelief vanish before the light of the Word and the Spirit of grace. A society where citizens are competent, noble in character, and community oriented. What they know, they apply justly and honestly. What they do not know, they seek to learn. What they do not have, they endeavor to acquire. What they have, they share.
All right, thank you very much, Elizabeth. So, the vision, the USC vision is the USC sees a world. So, if you are a Carolinian, you are in a world where the sin, the darkness of sin, we are shielded from sins through the word of God and the spirit of grace. Okay? So we are shielded by our faith. Nasabtan? So naata sa world where we are being shielded by or naatay murag na dome ba diha nga ang sin dili makasulod because of our faith in God. All right? So that's where we belong. We are also a society where citizens are competent. So if you are a Carolinian, it's expected that okay, the US's vision is that you belong to a society na competent individuals, noble in character. Okay, noble in character, that means we are shaped, our characters are shaped and also community oriented. When we say community oriented, that means we are aware what's going on in our community, what's going on in the society. What we know, we apply justly and honestly. So we have a sense of integrity. All right. What we do not know, we seek to learn. That means that we do research before we share something in social media. Okay. If we do not know anything, we research, we do research. What we do not have, we endeavor to acquire. That means that we have goals, we have dreams that we want to achieve because we still do not have them yet. And what they have, they share. All right. So we are well aware. I think you are well aware that you are blessed with a lot of things in life. Do you agree? Okay. Maybe madahan kay mga nato no nga kanang I'm so unfortunate. But you know what, guys? If you're going to think about it, you are in USC. A lot of people, a lot of students would like to study in USC, but they do not have the money, the means to study in USC. A lot of people would like to have 3 meals in a day, but they cannot afford 3 meals in a day, right? So if you're going to think about it, we are all blessed to have enjoyed all of these, right? And then as one of the university's vision is that we share what we have. Correct? Okay, that's a spirit of a Carolinian. Next, now we talk about the vision, the mission of the USC. Anybody who would like to read the mission? We have Venice. Go ahead.
The University of San Carlos is a Catholic institution of learning that embodies the principles of academic discipline of San Carlos Borromeo and the missionary charism of the Society of the Divine Word. We aim to develop competent and socially responsible professionals and lifelong learners in an environment that fosters excellence in the academic core processes of teaching, learning, research, and community extension service. Our mission is to provide timely, relevant, and transformative academic programs responsive to the needs of the local, national, and global communities in a rapidly changing world.
Right. Thank you. Now, the mission, the USC mission is since the USC is a Catholic institution, we embody the principles of academic discipline of San Carlos Borromeo. So, some ng mga principles, when we say embodies, atong we practice, okay? Part siya sa atong core values ang academic discipline. When we say academic discipline, one of those factors is we don't steal ideas, we don't steal information, okay? um, and also part of that is being the having the missionary charism of the Society of the Divine Word. Okay, and One of the missions is to develop competent individuals. All right. So if you are a Carolinian, it is expected that wherever you go, you know what to do. You are a competent individual. All right. And also socially responsible, meaning we are socially responsible professionals. That means that we help others who needs our help. Right? We help other people who are in need. All right. And then our mission also is to provide timely, relevant, and transformative academic programs responsive to the needs of the local, national, and global communities in a rapidly changing world. So that means we're aware what's going on in the society. We are well aware that we are going through this pandemic right now, correct? And USC does not stop. Okay, learning should not stop. This is one of the transformative programs by using the using internet platform or technology for learning. Okay, so that is the mission of the USC. Right now, how about the subject? Let's talk about the subject. So this is personal development. Now, when we say personal development, what can you think about? What is personal development for you? Now, I want to hear from you. Type your answer in the chat box. In the chat box, type your answer. What is personal development? Do not Google your answer because I would really appreciate it if you answer based on how you understand the subject, the topic, personal development. Okay, it's like this, huh? I monitor responses through the chat box. Okay, so at the end of our session, if I see that you are not participating, that basically means for me that you are not listening to my class. All right, so type your answer in the chat box, and I want to hear what personal development is for you. Go. Change, improvement, become better person, self-improvement, improving oneself, honing our senses, mental, physical well-being. All right, self-improvement. Improving oneself, ourselves, improvement. Okay, so when we say development, we talk about improvement. Yes. Learning to improving oneself to become the better version of ourselves is where personal development is where we become aware of what is happening within ourselves, how we could better ourselves as well. Improvement, self-improvement, goal-oriented. Okay. All right. Very good. All of your answers are correct. When we talk about personal development, when we say development, that refers to something change. Okay. So improvement, perhaps. And when we say personal, that refers to the self, yourself. But what is the reason why you have to take personal development? Now, the course description says that this course makes senior high school students aware of the developmental stages. Okay. So when we say, Ken said, enhancing our character, attitude, and skills, now we'll talk about developmental stages. What happened to your character, your skills, your attitude when you were a toddler? Okay. Just like that. So we will talk about developmental stages from toddlerhood, adolescence to adulthood, but more focus on adolescence because that's the stage where you are in. Am I talking too fast? No? Okay. So, okay ra, masabtan ra. Now, why are we talking about developmental stages? For you to better understand yourself and the significant people around you. Why do we have to do that? So you can create an important career decision. Okay, so the goal is all the topics that we're going to talk about will lead you to create a good career decision. Nasabtan? Okay, so that means that we'll be using experiential learning approach. You will be sharing personal reflections and sharing ideas, experiences, and emotions. And also we'll be using lectures so that we can talk about the concepts, theories, and something related to the area in psychology. Okay, so everything that we'll be talking about will be backed up by theories and concepts related in to psychology. All right, so these are the topics. The first chapter will talk about knowing oneself. So you are correct in understanding the self, okay? understanding our character, attitude, and skills, and so on. Those are knowing. Those belong to knowing oneself, and then developing the whole person. So meaning you will get to understand what has been going on when you were a toddler, and now that you're adolescent, and then when you become adult. Then we'll also talk about mental health and well-being. All right, because that is important when you decide what career to take. You need to consider the mental health, your mental health. Is that course that you're going to take going to be makahelp ba sa imong mental health and well-being? Okay, sa state. And then we also have to consider your emotional intelligence, your personal relationship and social relationship, family structures. Very important to talk about family because family can greatly influence your career decision. Because I think some of you, it is your parents or your mother or father who decided what course to take in college, correct? Diba? Person and career pathway and insight into one's personal development. So these are the topics. So take note of this. Think that all the topics that we're going to talk about will lead you to create a good career decision. All right, at the end of the semester. Now, I would like to ask, who among you here are already sure of the career na inyong ganahan i-take in college or the course that you'd like to take in college? Say, those who are not sure, do not type yet. I want to hear from those who are sure. Can you type what course you would like to take up in college? Okay, go ahead. Those who are sure. Fine arts. Now I know this is arts and design class, arts and design section, correct? Interior design, fine arts, acting and interior design. Okay, fine arts. All right. Fashion design or painting, multimedia arts with question mark. Althea, are you sure about that? I think you're not sure yet. You have question mark. Fine arts. I want to take fine arts. Fine arts. Opera singer. Wow, Elizabeth, can you give us a sample?
Oh, sir.
Fine arts or whatever the counterpart depending on the school. All right, fine arts. Graphic design and animation. All right. You know what is funny? Early this year, January, I guess, I enrolled in a short course, a 3-day course for graphic design. Animation. Okay. Traditional or digital drawing arts. Okay. All right. Very good. How about those who are not sure? What are your choices? What are your options? Those who are not sure yet of what career to take or what course to take. Acting or digital drawing. Those who are not sure, type your answer. What your possible options are. Where are the others? Sleeping, psychologist, fashion designer, performer, business. Okay, daghan-daghan yun sa choices. Theater arts or fine arts, interior design, fashion designer. Okay, daghan yun no. So makalibog yun ay. So that's normal, no? Jobs relating to arts or reporter, country ambassador, freelance artist, animator. Okay, daghan yun siya choices. All right, now, thank you very much for your responses. Hopefully, at the end of this semester, you'll be able to narrow it down to one course. All right, have a career decision. Okay, so let me introduce to you my house rules. Okay, the very first house rules, actually a reminder, is take responsibility of your education. Okay, that simply means do not blame anybody what's going on with your grades. All right, your grade is your responsibility. Do you agree with me? Okay, if you receive a low grade, do not blame your teacher nga muhatag og gamay nga grado, because in personal development, I don't dili ko mo inat, dili ko mo binat pataas, binat paubos inyong grade. sa inyong ihatag nako nga score, that is your grade. All right? Later on, I'm gonna show you my grading system, the grading system of personal development. When we say take responsibility of education is ano ni siya? If you are, for example, absent in the class, it is your responsibility to inform me nga, sir, na absent ko because of this, and that. Okay? I am willing to listen to your reasons, or I don't want to say excuses, but I am willing to listen to that. Bisan pa may kana ko nga, sir, wa ko katulog bangod gabi kay nag-away mi sa akong uyab, unya hapit mi nagbuwag, wa jud ko katulog. All right? So ingon ana imong reason, maminaw gihapon ko. I will perhaps consider that. All right? The thing is I am willing to listen, and I am very considerate. All right? If you are going to explain to me. If na-miss nimo ang exam, like major exam na kay na-miss, you inform me. Na, sir, na-miss na ako. Do not wait for me to send you an email. Why haven't you taken the midterm exam? Why have you not taken the final exam? Okay? Or do not wait for me to send you an email asking, where is your performance task? Okay? Can I trust you with that? That you are going to take responsibility of your education? All right? Okay, so I trust you with that, all right? Next is get to class on time. Okay, so our class starts at 11 a.m., correct? 11 to 12:30. Okay, the moment I come in, which is normally on time, but if we are going to be using Canvas, I join the class 5 minutes before the class most of the time. Right at 11 o'clock, I'm going to call your name for attendance. So if you are late, I will mark you absent, but if you inform me that you are late, I will mark you late. Okay? Just type in the chat, sir, I'm here. Okay? Right away, I'm going to call your name for attendance. All right? Because, why am I doing this? Because if anaron nimo imong self nga mag-late, it will become a habit. And if it will become a habit, madaan nimo when you grow old, when you go out and employ yourself somewhere, madaan nimo nga habit. Okay, so we are going to make it a habit that we come to class on time. All right, any schedule. Okay, kakuan mo anak, kabantay mo anak nga namoy sabot sa imong friends katong pang normal pa ang world, wala pa ang pandemic. Mana ka nga asa naman ka magmeet sa Ayala ha, ani nga oras, mga 10 a.m. So naguna na dito imong friend, mga before 10, mga 9:30 pa naabot na siya sa Starbucks sa Ayala. Asa naman ka? Padung nako. Ang iyang padung nako kay naligo pa dai na. Inana bitaw. So that will become a habit. So we'll make it a habit that we come to class on time. Kay maanad ta ana kung dili ta on time. Right? Turn off mobile phone. I would highly encourage you to turn off or put your mobile phone on mute while you are in my class. Okay? But wala naman jud kay control ana no. Kay virtual man. It's up to you. You can even watch Netflix or play Mobile Legend even if you are kanang listening to my class, di ba? You will just have to inform me, sir, I will just turn off my kuan kibasin. I will just turn off my camera. I may get disconnected, and then you can play Mobile Legend, right? You can play whatever you want to play, right? Okay, but take note of this. Your attitude will determine your success. All right? Next, respect your teacher and your classmate. All right. Ano ni siya? I am your teacher, but let me inform you, I'm not a robot. Okay? I am your teacher, but let me tell you that I'm not perfect. Okay? There may be times nga masayop ko, but I'm open to your ideas and suggestions. I'm open if you tell me personally that, sir, I think nasayop ka ani, blah, 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 blah. And then if I understand, bitaw sayop, bitaw no, okay, I will go ahead and correct myself. All right? And then I will give you credit for informing me nga naakoy sayo. All right? So inana, that is one way of respecting your teacher. Dili pakaulawan na to ang teacher ha? Then, respect your classmates. In this class, there will be there will be times nga you are going to share your personal experience, emotion, something. So one way, if you don't like what your classmate is sharing, is respect him or her. Do not say, you're stupid for saying that. You're stupid for making that decision. Okay? Nga naman, because we are different individuals. We experience things differently. Do you agree? All right. So if you want to say something, you can say, you know what? This is how I experience it. Okay. So inana na lang, share na lang your experience. Then be here, be now. Now, if you decide to attend in my class, I'd really want you to be here. Okay? That means I want your presence. I want your presence to be in this class. Okay, why? Because your success in this class depends on your participation. If you don't participate, then gamay ra imo ma-learn. Okay, take note. I am a facilitator of learning. I will not be teaching, but I will be facilitating that learning. Nasabtan? Okay? So that means if you decide to stay in this class, then I expect you to listen. That's the reason why I ask question, and then you need to answer through chat box. Because if you don't answer and I monitor your answers in the chat at the end of the class, then if I can see that you are not participating, I will mark you absent. Very easy. No? Nasabtan ako? Are we in agreement? All right? Because I always ask question. If you if na mo'y kailang nga na grade 12 na karon, nga na-handle na ko before, every time mag-discuss ko online, na-adyo ko question. Okay? And kana nga question na ako muhatag ko og 10 points sa akong mga questions as kanang mga oral participation. Okay, I'll discuss that later. All right. So, and ang kaning inyong mga participation sa chat box, this determines your attendance for the day, of the day. All right. Aside from the roll call. Okay. Now, what are my requirements? You guys have questions so far before I proceed to the requirements? No? All right. None. All right. Attendance. First requirements, attendance. Okay, although grade attendance is not included in the grade computation, but it can greatly affect your grade. You know what I noticed? Na ako daghang mga students nga nag absent before. I noticed po nga ilang grade nga gamay. Nga naman, because I gave out instruction, real time instructions, and then they will not be able to get it because they were not listening to my instruction. So ang ilang isubmit nga PT kay sayop ang instruction nga ilang pagsabot sa instruction. Now, we also have synchronous classes. Attendance will be checked every synchronous class. So our synchronous class is always in the beginning of the week. So, kanos amin gani atong first meeting sa week? That is Monday, right? Ano? Thursday. Yeah. Thursday, 11 a.m. That's our synchronous class. So you don't need to be online on Thursday, 11 a.m. Right? And our class duration is going to be only one hour. Okay, at most. That's 50 to 1 hour only per week. Ako ha? All right. So we don't meet Thursday. We only meet Tuesday. All right. So that's it. That's attendance. Next is submission of deliverables like your assignments, activities, projects, and PTs. Okay, I would really appreciate it if you submit your assignments, activities, and others on time. Okay, but I understand. Niagi po ko pagka-student nga sometimes mulapas kita sa deadline. But just make sure that you explain to me nganong nilapas sa deadline. Sir, is it okay if I submit my kuan tomorrow because it's like this, I like this and that? Guys, ayaw po ko tagay ka na mga kanabit ng excuses nga, sir, kanang kuan manggod ka ng gabi initan or mo Netflix. Ayaw po ko yung tagay ka na ng excuse. Tagay po valid reason. Okay? So, para mo consider po na to ang extension sa inyong deadline. Alright? So, I'm not that strict. I'm actually, dali na kayo kung makasabot as long as you're just being honest to me. Alright? Next is participation. So, oral participation. Every time I ask question, that bears point. Okay? 10 points actually. Every time I ask question. So, and that 10 points is that's additional points. Okay? So that means if ganahan kang mo dako imong grado sa personal development, participate in the class. Participate whenever I ask question. All right? Because that's additional point. We also have sometimes group activities. Okay? Make sure that you also perform with group activities. And adherence. Okay? For the rules and regulations. I think it was discussed already by your advisor, some of the rules and regulations. Correct? what you need to do if you're online, what you need not to do if you're online. Is it Are those discussed by your advisor already? Yes? Okay. All right. So we'll follow the rules. We have the same rules. The netiquettes. All right. So follow that. And lastly, if you follow everything, is most likely you'll pasar na. Right? So how does it make you feel if you can pass the subject? Yay. Now for the next semester. All right. So now question with regards to your assignments, requirements, I mean. No question so far? Type your answer. Yes. Isis? How do you pronounce your first name? Isis or Isis?
It's ISIS, sir.
Isis. Okay.
My concern, sir, is it okay, like, if someone is actively participating, but their answers are wrong? But not always wrong, just sometimes.
Yeah. Actually, some of my questions, there are questions that are really objective questions. All right. But even if the answer is wrong, I give out 5 points. Okay. But some of the questions are mostly, maybe some of the questions are kanang personal experience, based on personal experience. So there's no right or wrong answer. Then yes, that's 10 points. Right? Yes. Okay. Any other question? None. Others said none. All right. Very good. I'd like it if you are going to respond to my questions in the chat, or you unmute your mic and say something. All right. That simply means to me I can see you are listening and participating. All right. Now let's proceed to the grading system. There are only 3 areas that you are going to look at. The first is the performance task, the major exam, and the written works. All right. Take note of that. 3 areas, 25% for written works, 25% for major exams, and 50% for performance tasks. So written work, mo ni siya mga short quizzes. Diha na ko ibutang ang additional points sa oral participation. And major exams, that this is your midterm and your final. And your performance tasks, that is 50%. Take note of that. So sa inyong performance task, dako kay na siya og part sa inyong final grade, sa inyong grade. So make sure that you submit performance task. It could be mini performance task or major performance task. Nasabtan? Because that's 50%. Now, I would really appreciate it if you, for example, you fail to submit your performance task, inform me right away. Do not wait for me to send you an email asking you, where is your performance task? I hope you understand, guys, that we are handling hundreds of students per semester. Okay? It may be, please understand that it may be not easy for us to handle 100 students and monitor hundreds of students per semester. Okay? All right? So be responsible, huh? Take responsibility of your education. All right, next is, I'm going to inform you your major PT. Okay? Your major performance task, this is the task that you are going to submit at the end of the semester. Okay? Here is the task. The situation or the scenario is, you are a graduate of the senior high schools of senior high school who wishes to pursue a career in either employment, higher education, business, or middle level skills development. Okay? Your task is to make your parents, siblings, teachers, and friends believe that you are choosing the right decision by showing them your comprehensive career portfolio. Now, this time we are going to use e-portfolio because everything will become, everything is electronic. You cannot submit a hard copy. So your e-portfolio must contain the following: your MBTI test result, Big 5 test result, emotional intelligence test result, well-being CREST, Holland RIASEC test result, career map, and the insight into one's personal development reflection. So guys, take note, this MBTI test result, these things, you are going to do this sa mga kanang per topic that we discuss. So for example, our first topic is about self-awareness. So sa topic sa self-awareness, you are going to take 2 tests. That's MBTI test and Big 5 test. Okay? So this test, ang mga result ani inyo nang i-compile and then himuon ninyo i-portfolio nga i-submit siya sa end sa semester. Okay? But na ako certain deadline na okay dapat mahimon na mahumanan inyo ni ani nga period kaning kay mini task man nato ni kaning MBTI o Big 5. Mini task man ni. Okay? Kaning emotional intelligence test, this becomes your mini tasks. Okay? And others. And then you are going to compile all your mini task para mahimo siyang major performance task. All right? So meaning, ayaw ninyo buhata tanan right away because I know na ay daghang students diri nga kanabitang ganahan nga wala na labad niya himuon na tanan. Don't do that because ato siyang hinay-hinayon para di mo ma-stress. Every topic didto nanto kuhaon ang inyong compilation padulong sa major performance task. All right? And then, ang end, towards the end, namoy career map and then insight into one's personal development. So meaning, reflection is siya of what you have learned from the very beginning to the end. And then, diri po ninyo ibutang sa insight kung how you convince the people around you nga you are choosing the right career for you. Okay? So diha. So this is your major performance task and mao ni siya ang rubric sa major performance task. Self-awareness, communication, critical thinking skills, and decision making. Okay, and then technology, creativity, and innovation. Okay, I'm sure you are in arts and design mo, so maybe I expect that you are really creative individuals. All right, so mo na siya ang atong criteria sa atong major task. Okay, so take note ha, every activity nga atong buhaton sa kada topic, i-compile na siya para mahimong major performance task. Nasabtan? So hinay-hinay na siya. Dili nato usahon og himo ang major performance task. All right. Question so far? Okay. Walay question. Walay nagkuan. So good luck on your personal development journey. I have a quote here. You are only an attitude away from success. Okay. What are the kinds of attitude? We have positive attitude and negative attitude. So choose lang asa man ana imong ganahan. Kung positive attitude, that will determine your success. But if you have negative attitude means if you always example of that is if you always complain about activity na sad, that's negative attitude. Then your actions will follow, right? But if you are challenged with these activities, that's kind of positive attitude, your action will also follow. You will do the activity. Okay? Because kung musika kag complain, pirmi ka kapuyon, your body will follow. Mag-watch na lang kag kuan, telenovela or series. Okay? Or mag-play na lang kag your mobile phone games. Di ba? So, your attitude, that determines your success in life. Okay? This is applicable not only sa personal development subject, but also in your life, how you handle your life. Right? Do you agree with me? Yes? Type yes in the chat if you agree. All right, perfect. Okay, so guys, any question or some clarification? I would appreciate if you ask question. I like a class if the class is curious, if the class is if the students are asking questions, dili ko masuko kung magsige mo pangutana. Mas malipay ko if you ask question. That means you are curious of what's going on. Okay? Basin na ako na miss ba? In terms of turning on your camera, I'm not really strict in terms of kanang you turn on camera. But, ano na siya? I expect that you have a much better internet connection than mine. Right? I know a lot of you na ay mga fiber connections and so on, different kinds of connection. I'm only using, my connection is Wi-Fi. It's Globe Wi-Fi. It's not even fiber, but it can carry video calls, Zoom conferencing, and whatever. As long as you have 2 Mbps and up, you can already turn on your camera. That you will not be disconnected. Okay. So I want you when as soon as the class starts, please do not wait for me to tell you to turn on your camera. Okay. I expect that you turn on your camera right away. Okay. Nasabtan ba ko? Clear ba ko? Alright? But those who kanang naman jud uban pud siguro nga naa siguro sa areas nga hinay jud ang internet, you can tell me, sir, I cannot turn on my camera because I might get disconnected if I turn it on. Okay, something like that. Or sir, dili ko maka-turn on sa camera kay gihubagan ko sa naong. All right. So I can just explain to me and I will understand. All right. Okay. Are we in agreement? Am I clear? All right. Any other questions, clarification, suggestion? Wala? Kay Mingaw? All right. Sige, let me stop the recording now.